are Britt and Mike, and this is our dog, Leah. We're converting our 2021 Ford Transit van into a home on wheels. We recently finished framing, and this week we're tying up some loose ends from past projects before we start putting up our paneling.
Hey! Let me turn this off here.
Hi everyone!
Hi!
Welcome to Van Build episode 13, and if you know that makes this the Taylor Swift episode. We don't have one big project this week, but we're going to bring you along like vlog style throughout the rest of this week, and we just have a little bit of cleanups to do here and there.
I've got a list of things that need to get done, little things that have kind of just been neglected because I've been working on the bigger projects throughout the build, so. Like
loose ends of all the rest of the projects that we've been doing.
Exactly, right? Yeah. All right, let's get to work. So I'm actually out of blades for my Dremel, but nothing a hacksaw blade couldn't fix. So got that guy the rest of the way off, ground it down nice and smooth. Now none of these bolts are protruding out. So when I put my paneling on, it won't be pushing out on those bolts. Okay, so I'm not sure how well you can see this, but some of my brad nails are protruding out a little bit from around the window boxes and the bench box that I put in over the last couple weeks. So I'm going to show you how I can fix that. So what I'm going to do is I have this little punch here, and I got this little hammer here, and I'm going to line this guy up on top of the brad nails and just tap them in. Should be pretty easy, shouldn't only take a few minutes, so let's get started. Hi. Leah, you ready to help out? She's ready. Okay, it's really windy. Hopefully you can hear me. So next on my list today, I want to put a support in here. And I think I'm going to build a box. It's going to have a support in the back, support in the front, with a little 1x4 connecting at the top and the bottom. That way, even if there's a single support in here, let's use this as an example, if someone were to come through and it's underneath here and hit it hard enough, it could knock it in. And I don't want that to happen down the road and have to take it apart to fix it or replace it or come up with something half-assed. So I'm gonna build a little box that's gonna go in here, and I think that's gonna do the trick. Okay, so I quickly went through and made my cuts to make my little box here. I'm just gonna put a couple pocket holes on each side, top and bottom, so you can't see them from inside. And go ahead and attach these guys and go ahead and throw it in the van. I think that'll work pretty well. Okay, so finished product on the step. I got the little box built. I haven't attached it yet, but now it's got two supports, and then these guys right here will keep it from getting knocked in. So like if someone were to kick it at the bottom, this piece isn't just gonna flip up like so and rip out of the plywood or whatever. So I think that'll be a lot sturdier and have better lasting results.
Good job.
And the plan is to have a little space here to throw some flip-flops or whatever, you know, stuff for Leah or, you know, whatever. That way we just use as much space as possible. A lot of people do this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Will your shoes fit in there? Mine will for sure.
My shoes won't fit in there, but my flip-flops will fit in there. If I really jammed my shoes in.
One shoe.
One shoe. One other thing we haven't really talked about as far as shoe storage goes. When I was putting the swivel seat on this bad boy, I realized... I know I just said bad boy. I realized that this is all hollow under here. So we're probably going to make good use of this space as well. It doesn't have to be shoes, but it is additional storage. So
yeah, anything
that we don't need immediately, but we don't want to have to dig through the garage area or whatever to get to, it's a good place to keep it.
Smart.
Okay, so something I've probably put off way too long is just running the solar panel cables through this back column here down into the garage area. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, here goes nothing. So this is exactly why the wire loom is so important. There's a lot of sharp edges on the inside of these walls, and everywhere where you're running your wires has a chance to rub on one of these sharp edges. And yep, looks like I got. I'll be okay. There we go, all better. All right, that was quick and mostly painless. Now it goes all the way through down here, and I've got wire loom. You can see down here on the bottom, I've got wire loom in all the areas that it rubs. It doesn't really rub down here, so it didn't bother down here, but it does rub a little bit here at the top, so a little wire loom on that as well. All right, on to the next thing. So something I've been quietly working on behind the scenes is trying to figure out exactly how to put our headliner shelf in here. We didn't opt for the OEM overhead storage that comes optional on the van, and I didn't realize at the time how much of a headache it will be to install a headliner shelf in there at this point. So I'll show you what I'm working with. The difficult thing is on the prefabbed headliner shelves that you can get from Vancillary and some other places, they use some bolts that are typically up in this area that hold that overhead storage compartment in place. It's kind of like a couple down here. There's a bolt here, not really much to work with, one on each side. But yeah, without those extra bolts, there's no kits that I can buy that are just gonna fit, pop right in here and be no problem. What I think I'm gonna do, so if you look back inside here, you can see there's a little kind of shelf looking thing where the headliner actually mounts to the van. And I found someone on a thread who kind of figured this out for himself, and he mounted a couple brackets to that thing, drilled some holes through his headliner shelf, and was able to mount a couple of angled aluminum pieces here through to those brackets. And then on either side, he just mounted his shelf that way. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards doing, but if you have any better ideas, let us know in the comments, because this one looks like it might be tougher than I thought. So basically where I think I'm at is, I think I'm gonna have to take the entire headliner shelf, or headliner out, mount some brackets on those little shelf ledges on either side of the van, and do something similar to what I found in the thread that I was telling you about. But yeah, like I said, if you have anything better, any other ideas that might work, shoot them my way. I'd much appreciate that, because that's going to be a lot of work. And I think the lesson here is just go with the factory overhead storage, and then they make plenty of headliner shelves that go in here. They may not be as big as what I'm trying to design for myself, but certainly a lot less work. Okay, so I've got low E reflective core on both the wheel wells now, and we'll see if I insulate this any further. I'm leaning towards not insulating anymore, just because this is going to be under kitchen cabinets over here, and this is going to be under the bed, under the closet, and even a little bit in the shower here. So they're going to be covered. We'll see if it's necessary to insulate them anymore, but I don't really think I'm going to go that way. Also, as you can see, I have quite a bit of low E reflective core left. I'm probably going to make some covers for these rear windows back here, because it's kind of nice in here with the windows covered, especially trying to film. There's always a lot of light coming into these windows, so it's difficult to get good shots when everything's washed out by the sun. So I think I'm going to make some temporary window covers, and then later on when we're ready, we'll buy some good ones. And with the rest of this, as you can see, there's quite a bit here. I'm probably going to use it to insulate our gray tanks under the van. Just give them a little bit of insulation. So for reference, this is what I look like when I'm trying to film in the van with the light behind me. It's not great. I'm this dark blob in the corner. Without the light, it's a lot better. Okay, I lost you there for a minute, but here's what we got. First piece that I cut out, I just placed it in the window and just eyeballed it, cut around corners. We got a nice tight fit to the whole window. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, put it on top of my other piece over here, trace around it, and then go ahead and cut everything out. So then we'll have a nice insulated window that also blocks out the light, so it'll make it a lot easier for me to film. Okay, something that I didn't realize, and I obviously didn't take into account, is that this window is 3 inches more narrow than this window. And this is the one I used to make my measurements. Luckily, that just means I have to trim a little bit extra off the one that I already made. That's interesting. I just assumed that they were symmetrical. I guess I shouldn't have done that. All right, let's try this again. Much better. All right, there you have it. Some simple DIY window covers. Only took me about 25 minutes.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. We just got our light switches in that we are going to use in the back of the van by the bed and in the front of the van in the kitchen. And we want to use a 3-way switch so that we can turn off the same light from either side. So we have our light switches and we're going to test them out right now and see if it all works.
So we're trying to rig everything up for our 3-way with the dimmer, our regular 3-way switch to our lights, just to see if everything is wired correctly the way that we have it kind of imagined.
Okay. Light to light.
So the wiring's right.
The wiring's right. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So now if we want to try the battery, we can now.
Oh, yeah, let's
okay. So let's we want to see it light up. We really want to see that.
That's the money shot.
Yeah.
That's why I've been standing here with the camera for 30 minutes.
Yeah, our cameraman is flip the switch.
Hey!
this off here.
Can we dim it?
I'll turn it back on, and we'll dim it.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Well,
thank you, Jim.
How much will you?
So this is our walking into the
You're
van.
gonna walk in. You're gonna turn it either way.
On or off. Say it's on.
You come back there. You can turn it off when you're back
Or
there.
in bed and
Or
want to
dim it or
lower
whatever.
it.
Yeah. You just want to turn it off. Hit the switch. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Like I say, I just caution everybody when they get little. They think they can put these in series,
Right.
and they would work, but they get dimmer. You know that you want them to be hooked in parallel.
Okay. Yeah, that's how the diagrams. That's why I bought these so that
Yeah.
I can daisy chain them together.
Right. Yeah.
Black to black.
That's exactly
red to
what
red.
you're on the right.
Okay.
If I had a mic, I'd let you drop it.
All right. So you saw that we got the light to power. We got it to dim. Everything worked the way it's supposed to work. The reason for the test that we just did is I wasn't exactly 100% sure about the wiring, the way that I had it, if that was going to work or not. I got a wiring diagram with the three-way dimmer switch that I bought. So I drew it all out on paper so it would hopefully make more sense. And then we decided, you know what, before I run all the wiring for this stuff and find out whether it's going to work or not, whether I'm right or wrong, we should just test it. So we went through, we tested it all, everything works. We will have a link in the description for the three-way dimmer switch. From what we could find, there's not a whole lot of options out there, but we thought this one looked really nice. It pairs really nice with the other ones that we bought. We'll have to try to find a faceplate for it, but we have a nice faceplate for our other switches, so they can all go side by side, right next to the driver's seat, or next to the slider door.
Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Today is Leah's birthday. She is turning 6 years old, and every year we get her like a couple presents or make her a little doggy cake or something fun. So this year we went to Walmart and I got her this little flower. Love grows here. We got her own little lamb chop, which I've seen online, but she's never had one, and it has little tie-dye paws. And then this little dinosaur came with the flower. So it's tie-dye theme this year, and we're gonna wrap them, and her favorite thing in the world is to unwrap a gift bag. So we're gonna do that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leah. Happy birthday to you. Notice the technique. She attacks from the bottom corner instead of just going through the opening. Oh, there's a cat.
Leah, come here. Okay, so we've got this 2/0 cable that needs to run from under the driver's seat. I won't put it under there yet. All the way through this wall back behind the wheel well, and then it'll go across the back of the garage over to where all your other electrical will be hooked up at. We won't have a DC to DC charger. We'll have a LIBIM, lithium BIM. I think that's battery isolation manager.
Yeah.
And basically the difference between the DC to DC charger and the LIBIM, well, there's a few differences, but one of the big things is that it's capable of a lot higher amperage, so you need a lot thicker cable. So this is 2/0 cable, and it is pricey. The upside to the higher amperage that you're going to get from your alternator is that your batteries should charge faster. Also, with the lithium BIM, you can jumpstart your car battery from your battery bank, which is an added benefit I thought was pretty cool. I just got to run the cable for this though inside the wall so that we can start doing paneling soon.
Woo!
Britt's excited.
I'm very excited for it to start looking different in here. When it starts to look the same for like a couple weeks, I'm like, ugh, we're not making any progress. So yeah, I'm excited for walls.
Me too. Okay, so I have the excess wire and what's gonna run across over to this side, spooled up right here. And then I've got wire running the length of the van to the front. And then what's gonna go up under the seat right here is spooled up right here. And basically what I'll need is about 17 feet. And we actually ordered 25 because it was, somehow it was cheaper than ordering 20 feet. So we'll have a little bit of extra, but that's totally fine. If it was gonna be over 20 feet, we'd probably need a thicker cable, but it's gonna be just perfect.
All right, we are going to wrap up the vlog for this week. We're gonna take our puppy out for her birthday walk.
And we're looking forward to next week. We're gonna start paneling in here and it's gonna really change the way it looks.
Thanks so much for watching and we'll see you next week.
Bye guys.